All right, Shalom. It's your brother Shamar from Phoenix. With that being said, I want to give our honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, QUADASH. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity, man. And what I want to get into real quick today is the war within yourself, man. That war of the spirit and the flesh, man. The scriptures, they have a lot to say about that topic, man, about that subject, because and also it's a thing that a lot of brothers go through, man. You know, me myself included, we go through this inner turmoil, so to speak, man. This inner war within ourselves, this war with ourselves of overcoming our flesh, man. You know, and when we say the flesh, you know, we're not just talking about sexual desire. It can also be you know, just being not being spiritual. You know, doing things that are not beneficial to you or to the body or to your spiritual walk, man. You know, sometimes, you know, it could be anything. It could be just being fucking lazy. It could be being gluttonous, overindulging in certain foods. It could be drinking too much, man. Drinking too much wine, drinking too much alcohol, too much beer. You know, these are things that we got to keep in balance, man. That we got to keep checks upon, because this is a battle, man. Not only we fighting ourselves on a mental fucking state. You know, we're battling demons, man. We're battling the unseen war, man. You know, the spiritual war, so to speak. With that, I'm gonna get Romans 7 and 18, because the book of Romans, it really goes into that topic, man, about the war between the spirit and the flesh. This is Romans 7:18. It says, "For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not." So this is Paul, I believe, talking about the battle that he has, man, with his flesh. He says, "For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, what is no good thing." So the desires of the flesh, the thing that your flesh wants to do, whether it be sleeping a lot, or drinking, or whatever, women, whatever, that's not really beneficial for you as a man of the Lord, as a man being called to do this work, man. That's not really beneficial to you. It says, "For to will is present with me, but how for that which good I find not. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not do, that I do." So he's going back and forth with himself, man. And that's what brothers do, man. We go back and forth with ourselves. You know, we got to learn to control, or to be temperate, man, because that's what the word temperate means. It means you have self-control. And if if it so happens that you gotta keep yourself away from certain things or certain distractions in your life, then that's what you gotta do. You gotta shut certain things down within your life in order for you to have a more perfect walk in this truth. And that's what you gotta do, man. And that's gonna be up to every brother, man. You know, that's gonna be up to every brother's individual walk. But what what your responsibility is, you gotta ask the Most High to reveal your weaknesses unto you, man, and to ask you, and you gotta ask the Most High to show you how to deal with those weaknesses, how to deal with those shortcomings, man. Because as we get closer to the last days, you know, we gotta try to the best of our ability to walk more perfect in the sight of YAHAWAHSHI. With that, I'm going to jump to verse 23, and it says, "But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind," because that's where the battle takes place, man. That's where our spiritual battle takes place. That's where the battle between the war and the flesh, you know, the spirit and the flesh takes place in your mind, man. It's your mind that tells you, "Oh, I'm going to do this instead of that. I got to do this instead of that. You know, I'd rather do this, but I'm going to end up doing that." You know, going back to verse 16, "If then I do that which I would not, I consider the law as good verse 15, "For that which I do I allow not, for what I would that I do not, but what I hate that do I." So that's, you know, that it all starts in your mind, man. It all starts in your mind. "But I see another law of my member," going back to verse 23, Salakia, "But I see another law of my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to law of sin, which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death?" You know, that's talking about, you know, these shades of darkness that we're in, man, or basically the flesh, man. You know, because when you're called into this truth, man, you want to be as spiritual as you can. You know, because if you're occupying yourself in something that is unclean, something that's carnal, then the spirit can't really deal with you, man. You're blocking the spirit from you. You know? The wisdom not going to dwell with an unclean person, man. You know, so it's not to your benefit to indulge in the desires of the flesh, man. The worldly desires, the carnal desires, man. You know, and like I said, it's not necessarily talking about women. It could be overindulgence in whatever, in a multitude of things. Like I said, it could be making money. It could be chasing women. It could be too much alcohol or too much idleness. You know, too much of anything that's not good for you, man. That takes you away from your duties as a man of the Lord in His truth, man. With that, I'm gonna get Romans 8:3. That says, "For what the law could not do," oh, Salakia, that ain't it. Romans 8:7, Salakia, or 6. "For to be carnally minded is death." So to have that carnal mind, because that's what the world has. The world has a carnal mind, man. They have a worldly mind. They don't walk after the spirit. Their antennas, their reception, their Wi-Fi, so to speak, like the brother Campbell we say, is not in tune with the Most High. You know, their Wi-Fi, their mentality, their brain waves are in tune with the frequencies and the vibration of this world, man. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. So Paul's talking about two different mindsets, man. Two completely different mindsets, and the results and consequences of those two different mindsets, man. I'm going to read that back again. It's in Romans 8:6. "For to be carnally minded is death." So to have a carnal mindset is death, man. That's only going to lead to your destruction. But to be spiritually minded, to have a spiritual mindset, is life and peace. Because the carnal mind, that's carnal mindset, is an enmity, is against Yahawah. For it is not subject to the law of Yahawah, neither indeed can be. So they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahawah. So that goes back to, once again, man, when you give yourself into those carnal pleasures and desires, when you give yourself into unclean things, the spirit can't work with you, man. Wisdom can't deal with you because you're in an unclean state. You know? So you gotta be circumspect of how you're doing this thing, man, and what you're doing in your daily life, and that always requires sacrifice. The Lord always going to require a sacrifice for you to gain any type of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. For you to get to that next level in this truth, there's going to be another sacrifice that has to be made, man. You know, because when brothers came into this truth, you know, there's certain things that each brother sacrificed, and as you grow in this truth, and as you get to certain levels of this truth, you're going to be called upon to sacrifice more and more things, man, until you give yourself wholly unto the Most High, man. That's what He's looking for. I'm going to read that back again, Romans 8:7. "Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahawah, for it is not subject to law of Yahawah, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahawah, but ye are not in the flesh." And why are we not in the flesh, man? Because we have that spiritual mindset, but there's still that war within our members. But in the spirit, and so be it the spirit of Yahawah dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of YAHAWAHSHI, he is none of his. And if YAHAWAHSHI be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. Instead, I want to get Romans 13:13, man. In the book of Romans, it really goes into that. So, this is Romans 13:13, and it says, "Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in stress and envy." And those are all that's all part of the carnal mindset, man. "But put ye on put ye on the Lord Mashiach YAHAWAHSHI, and make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof." So what Paul's telling you. He's giving you a technique. He's giving you a method of how not to fall into that carnal mindset trap, how not to fall into that flesh trap, man. Don't make provisions for the flesh. I'm gonna just get that word provisions real quick. This is the word provisions from the Noah Webster 1828. It's talking 1828. It says the act of providing or making previous preparation. Things provided, preparation, measures taken beforehand, either for security, defense, or attack, or for the supply of wants. So don't fulfill those wants, man. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to give in. Your flesh is going to give in to those desires, man. You know, be circumspect about the things that you do. If you know that's drinking this certain amount of alcohol, or looking at this certain website or whatever, what have you, they're making provision for the flesh, then don't do it, man. You know, if talking to a certain woman, it's gonna lead you into the wrong path, or she's gonna fuck you up, because that's what happened, man. Brothers get jacked up over these women, man. Or you having those extra 2 drinks are gonna put you in a because what happened, man? You drink too much, and then the next day you taking care of a hangover, and your whole day is shot. You can't read scriptures, you can't do videos. Why? Because you got because you're fucking sick. But that was your fucking fault, man. So going back to the scriptures, Romans 13 and 14. Once again, like I said, man, this is Paul. He's giving you a technique, a method of how not to fall into that trap. I'm read that back again, Romans 13 and 14. It says, but put ye on the Lord Mashiach YAHWAHSHI. So follow the example of YAHWAHSHI, man. Read the scriptures, read the parables, man. Follow the examples that YAHWAHSHI gave us. And make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, and that will keep you out of that trap, man. And Most High willing, man, this is just a real quick lesson right here with the plantation. Most High willing, I hope it was edifying. What's that one say? Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHWAHSHI. Shalom.